Hey everyone, before we kick this episode off, I urge everyone listening to like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you may get your podcast from. So if you listen to us on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating, or also subscribe to us on Spotify. And I urge all of our listeners to head to our website, and you can get more than just our podcast from there. We have news stories all the time there. We have feature articles there. So head to tnpmedia.au. That's tnpmedia.au. All right, without further ado, we'll get stuck into the podcast.
Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
All right, Talking Power Podcast, episode 209. I'm joined by co-host over here, Michelle Morrison, and Simon Gonzo Travellini over there. How are we?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, going all right. Hey, we've got a guest. We haven't had a guest on since Christmas. So we've got Craig here from Agent Anorak. Craig, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Now, Craig, people probably asking, we met at Carco Raceway for the ACC Australia Day Car Show.
Yep.
You had a stand there, and it was Agent Anorak, and I think you had some people working there, and they were talking. I have to ask first, before you tell us what it's all about, where does the name? Because I did a bit of research, and I'm trying to work out. An anorak is a jacket, yeah?
Well, I think an anorak is a jacket, but it also refers to people. Back in the day, it was people who were train spotters. You know, they'd go stand on a platform in the middle of the night looking for a very special train that was going to go past in England, so they wore their anoraks. Okay. So a term that became known, probably not the nicest term, for people that were really into a particular topic. Oh, really, nuts about one particular thing, and maybe that's all of us here, but it's certainly me.
Yeah, cool.
Did you know that?
When I saw the sticker on the car, I thought it was a reference to a Volkswagen or something.
Yeah, right. Well, look, we've got to get the name out there to begin with, so why not sticker up a blue BMW to start with? But that's the anorak part of it, and an agent, that's something that affects change or affects an outcome, and really what we want to do is get more people to be car nuts, and if we can do that, they can come on and learn about it.
So give us the rundown on Agent Anorak. It's a social media site dedicated to cars. That's a pretty simplistic view, I guess.
Yep.
But give us a bit of a rundown on the actual site and the app.
Okay. Well, so you're right. That's what it is. But really, what I wanted to do was bring forums into the 21st century. I'm a bit of a forum nerd. I have BMWs, so I've always needed to fix them. So that's how you start. I got an old Mini as well, so everything's always broken. So you go on a forum and you learn how to learn about your car, how to fix your car.
See if other people were having the same issues and how to overcome them.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so that's a very old kind of technology now, and a lot of the knowledge on those forums is going to get lost. The younger generation, we don't necessarily all like forums, and I count myself as younger generation still. So I just wanted to bring it into the 21st century. Between AI and video sharing, there's a lot we can do, and so this is what we're doing.
I actually wrote here, we saw the forums, you can read that there, look, we saw the forums come and go in the 2000s. Yep. Simon and I got addicted to a forum for like 2 weeks. We couldn't get off it. It was back in 2004. Remember Eddie Tassoni on the dyno at Summer Nats? Yeah. That was like people at work were saying, are you going to do some work today? Because forums, that's where it was live. It was happening. People were like putting comments there. And
Yellow Bullet. I mean, look at what that turned into a sensation.
Yellow Bullet was awesome. I
still refer to Yellow Bullet sometimes.
So sorry to change the subject.
But that's it. That's how it started, right? All that knowledge in a car forum. We want to keep it going. I've lost many an hour and a day into forums, into the most obscure little reference to a car that I will never own or probably see. Yeah. So just want to really beef it up and bring it into the future.
Nick, the Street Outlaws, the names that they have, that's their old forum names.
Yep.
Because they would.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Big Chief and yep.
Perfect.
That's
So I'm curious to know. So basically, you've developed this. You've turned it in. You've also got it as an app as well. So it's on Android and Apple. I see.
They're coming soon. We're
Okay.
still working on it. But they won't be too long until they're out. But currently it's a website. But really we want it to be in everyone's pocket, in their phone. We'd go to car shows, we'd go to events, go to the drags, whatever it is, take some videos, take some photos, and we're going to load it up and share it with people.
Yep.
So it might be specific to your car, might be specific to a car that you see, or it might just be generic about a type of car that you like.
Okay.
yeah, great.
Yep. Do you see yourself as a platform then in the future, in the near future, for automotive companies to be branding with you as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've been living this in my mind for the last 15 years, so I've always been working towards this. I've basically defined success right now, and we'll put it out here as Ferrari is going to launch one of their cars on the platform. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be it's going to be a huge group of people interested in a particular topic, and we can then have the car companies, the manufacturers, or the repair companies, etc., selling parts and services to all the members. It'll be a focused group. So that's what we're aiming for.
And I really love that because, with the social media platforms that are, most commonly used now, and I'm often saying I don't see the information that I want to see. And sometimes, we've all got a life outside of motorsports, do we?
No.
But say your child's sick, or they've got something that you've typed into your computer Google search to look for something that's completely off topic to your racing, or you're going camping and so you've gone onto Anaconda and clicked on a tent. Now all I see on my Facebook feed is camping gear.
Yep.
And sometimes I have wanted to look at something on my search engine and think, no, I'm going to get flooded with information about this.
Absolutely.
Let's just get that information
so
somewhere
true.
else.
And even more to that, especially Instagram, but a lot of them I find the path they lead you down is quite negative. It's based on negative
Absolutely.
emotions.
Yep.
It's not about you going deeper into something that you're passionate about, that you want to share. It's
Yeah.
actually the complete opposite,
Yep.
because I gather that gets the most interaction perhaps.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of that, really. We don't want to drive you to see videos and photos of things that you've looked up on Google.
Yeah.
We're just car nuts. So
Yeah.
here's some more cars. If you've looked at BMWs a little bit too long, you might get something else. But that's about it. We don't want to deviate too much.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
There's a nice XW on there at the moment. I know.
absolutely, there is. Yeah.
Beautiful car.
Well, I've got a few lovely cars joining, so I hope to have a few more.
Yep. So look, I mean, engaging with other users like through comments and follows. I guess the task for you is how are you going to separate yourself from the social media, like the Facebooks of the world? How
Look, it's not going to be easy. We've got a few ideas, but I think the biggest one is that it's going to be a group of people that are passionate about a particular topic. That's going to be the starting point. It's not there for people to share their entire life with.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be in your own name. It can be under your username. Your collection, you're just going to put up your collection and share that. You're going to like and share posts of cars that you see in car events that you go to. How we're going to differentiate really is exactly that, is the content that we're going to have and the people that are going to be on the platform.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
we're not aiming to get 1 billion users
No.
sharing everything about their life. We just like to get really passionate users sharing the things that they're passionate about.
And I don't think that's going to be hard to promote, and I don't think it's going to be hard at all to attract subscribers,
Yeah.
members too, because we're all facing that same problem through our other channels that we're sharing with. We see it all the time. So to be able to just have that one dedicated space, and then of course, filtering down to which categories you're working with inside of that. But a lot of the time, when you've got an interest in motorsports, there is a branching motorsport coverage that you have interest in, maybe a bit of a click and choose which ones you're not.
Absolutely.
I can filter it in that way, but I quite often like to see what things would then be suggested, or when it's under that same umbrella topic of motorsport cars.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we want it to be, really, a place where you can go and focus on your passion for cars. Facebook and Instagram and everything, they're not going anywhere, so they're still going to offer what they offer.
You're not competing to then overtake them.
No.
It's a different specialised avenue for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Even the history of post seems to be very difficult to find. I'm sure I couldn't go on anyone's Instagram page and find their entire story and history of their car and everything, because it's not displayed, or
too fragmented.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we want to be the complete opposite of that, and basically have the whole history of your car. We've got some pretty cool ideas of how we can bring that to Web3 and metaverse and whatnot in the future as well. But right now, we just want a record of what's going on. I still own my first car from when I was 17, so I've started, I've documented its whole history with me, and I love that I know that, but now I've got a place where I can put that and everyone can know that, and that's cool.
Yeah,
not many
So
people
do
can say
I.
that.
When
I know
you think
can.
of-
I know he does as well.
when you think of then, selling your car and how valuable that information would be to new owners, that's amazing.
Yep.
Wash your mouth out, Michelle.
Well,
selling cars.
This is true. Yeah. They just break.
I've never sold anything that has been of significant value to me, and don't plan on. We all know that I've got two lining up to go straight into my race car, but I do know of racers that have purchased engines from someone else who they're not able to now be in contact with, and have come at a bit of a stark. Yeah.
You know where I see you fit in as well, Craig, is the demise, and we're seeing it every day, the demise auto action is a good example. The demise of car magazines.
Yep.
Every day we're hearing another tabloid or whatever it may be, we're coming off the shelf. Auto Action's the latest one. They're only going to be a monthly, a tri-monthly, I think, magazine.
I am totally against this movement to go away from printed media.
Me too. I love printed media.
People do not understand that when you make a magazine and it goes into a smoko room, or it goes into wherever, waiting room or whatever, people pick that up and they flick through it.
Yeah.
Now, the only guy that I know in the whole world that's really saw this years ago and is sticking with it is Wes Buck from Drag Illustrated. And he makes a big deal that when he meets people and they say, what do you do? I own a magazine. They're like, oh, sorry to hear that,
Yeah.
But he's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger because he's still doing it.
I thought that we would be at the age now that we've all are kind of being a bit consumed by our screens and by the information that we can't control coming in on them, and whether it be that, like I said, the algorithm in social media side, but whether it be our email inbox just being filled with different,
But this is different because you can get on there and you can see, this is the stuff that I'm into. You can see this guy started with this body shell and he's gone and it's gotten sandblasted, and you see the creation, the brush strokes in the masterpiece.
You go directly to it.
And that is something that, unless you go to a car show and the guy's got all the photos laid out there, you just don't get to see that.
And even car shows are while there's quite a lot in Perth at the moment, the international car shows have certainly become a lot quieter. There's a lot less of those. So this is a big driving force as well, because you can't go readily now to go to a car show and see the latest and greatest or the concept cars, and take your kids to drool over those. Same with the magazine, you flick through those and you dream about them.
We used to have a major one here at...
Auto Expo.
No, before that. It was at... was that Claremont? I can't remember now. My brother used to have a stand every year because he had the Wasp and the limousines.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It might have been at the Wacker.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It was huge, and they used to have the concept cars. It was like a smaller version of the Sydney car show.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I'm not
No, I don't
Not in
think-
Perth, yeah.
Yeah,
I
not,
think so.
No,
not
the
over here.
Sydney.
I'm not sure if that one still exists. Like in terms of releasing new cars, like international motor shows in Australia,
Nothing.
I think that's all
tragic.
all finished. But I have fond memories of Auto Expo. You know, I remember seeing the EA 351 GT. You know,
Yeah.
how awesome was that car? You know, and things like that. But yeah, you're right. Those sort of things, that's just fallen by the wayside now. So it's not something that we see anymore. The question I have for you, is there going to be a facility, and I'm sure you'll say yes, but will there be a facility for live feeds?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Live feeds, and also we want to really lean into the virtual reality 360-degree filming you can do at the moment.
Yeah,
So you put a
great.
360 camera on the back, pretty popular in drag scene as well. There's a lot on, hanging out the back of your car. You can then watch that with your VR goggles and be part of the scene.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen one in a drag car. Have you?
In
I'm not sure whether
American
they've got the
drag
steady,
racing.
Right, okay.
steady
Yeah.
motion to be strong enough for the vibrations is where I would think
Might be
that
the
there
point, yeah.
might be a bit restriction with that, but it all depends on the technology, and that technology, that 3D camera capturing is still quite new, and I'm sure it won't be long until, if it's not already available, that it would become more accessible throughout other brands and
Yeah.
ranges for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see even for us, like pitching forward, like, so when we do we've never gone live. Well, we have gone live, really. The Christmas one was live in front of an audience, but we've never actually recorded live. But I think that would be a good, sort
Absolutely.
of, yeah, sort of like we feed out to
Definitely.
something like this. I think
Yeah.
that is
I mean,
something.
ultimately, what I want Agent Anorak to be is the infrastructure to allow all of this to happen. Some people want to have podcasts, some people want to share videos, some people want to share photos, or people like me probably text-based and sharing knowledge,
Yeah.
DIY videos, the whole bit. We just want to allow it all to happen, and people will really fill the space with what speaks to them the most.
Yep.
The view is to get a paywall up, so then users such as yourselves or people that might have one nice car or a nice collection of car can actually monetize that as well. Right now, Facebook and Instagram, you might earn money if you've got millions of views and whatnot. We've got a model where we can modify that a bit and aim some of those resources to just our regular members.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know where I see a real growth area for you, Craig,
Yeah.
is the social pages, event social pages. So you've got that page at the moment. I've seen. At the moment in Perth, we have this thing where look, I mean, with all due respect, we had the weekend right, and we had Western Nationals is a permanent fixture in my view for that long weekend.
Yeah.
But now we had also, it was a big off-road race up in Peringeri as well. And then we also had
Ellenbrook Speedway on Sunday.
Okay,
Yep.
I wasn't aware of that
Sprint
one.
cars.
And then we also had Targa down in Albany as well. So we've got all these events going on the one weekend. I'm not saying that you would need to coordinate that, but it's somewhere where we can all go and everything that's on that weekend is there. I know it's there, so we can go, all right, I can say to my wife next weekend, all right, we've got nothing on Sunday. Let's go to this car show, whatever it may be,
And even for the event organisers to be able to see what other events are on and
Exactly.
how structured they are with being on those weekends, annually, to be able to say, okay, we're going to have the same audience as this crowd, so it's probably best that we don't try and compete with that event. Let's go and schedule it for another, because I would say you'd be able to just have that history there as well, to be able to see past events and calendar structures for that. So that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. And you combine that plus with your active members that are going to those particular events, so you'll be able to then understand who's going, when they're going, what
Where's
type
your
of cars, etc.
demographic?
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's right. So
yeah.
that can be the point where you actually open it up to the members and say, this is what we're trying to do. Either things are going to compete and one will, and they might be successful in their own right to different users, or like you say, you might align it more. Ultimately, we just want to go see nice cars. I'm sure all the same, and see what's going on. If we can have one every single day of our weekends, happy days.
Yeah, no, most certainly. Long-term plan then for
look, world domination is the long-term plan, but I just want a place to look at cars online. That's all this is for me right now. We've got an amazing team that I've just realised I need to surround myself with amazing people, and I've put that energy out there, and I've got the most amazing people in the team now, and we can do some pretty cool things. So I don't know exactly where it's going, but it's going to be good.
It just sounds like it's built on a fantastic idea with a lot of passion.
Yep.
And I can just see your excitement by talking about it, and it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I love the fact you got a roadmap on your site. I looked at that and I said, I wonder where they are in this roadmap. So you've most of those things you've ticked off?
A couple of them, we've kind of started on a few of them. We've finished one or two of them. It's a little Ferrari, by the way, that tells you where you're at along the road.
What model?
Sorry? Grant, the developer, legend of a guy, he chose it. He doesn't know what it was. He just calls it a Ferrari. I reckon it's about 8 red pixels, actually. But
let's tell everyone it's a 250 GTO.
Let's do it. Done. Exactly. Yeah. Fantastic. But that's to keep us accountable as well. But what we're really trying to do is build a community. So we want everyone involved in it. We've got a small user base right now, and we're absolutely loving that, and we're growing. You know, and I get a little pop up on my phone every time someone signs up, and it stops me in my tracks, and I love it. So we're just trying to get everyone on board of what we're trying to do, get as much feedback as we can, and see where it goes.
Well, I urge everyone to join up. Simon, you need to put the XY on there, because currently there's only one XW on there.
Is the journey on there, Nick? The journey?
I haven't loaded those photos on yet, but I will be loading
every
those.
Every spot weld that gets drilled out, I want to see it on.
Anyway.
I'm going to be following you on.
So, tell us where we can download it. So we go to agentanorak.com, that's correct?
That's right. Currently, agentanorak.com, and you can sign up. I just need to put in your email address, and it will send you a code. The apps will be coming shortly, and they'll be on the usual app stores, but everything's from the website right now.
Okay.
I've got some other social media pages going at the moment, which are heavily feature BMWs right now, but we've got a lot of photo shoots. We've got some photographers that are helping us kind of scour Perth for some amazing collections, so we're getting a lot of photo shoots done to get some content onto the site, so there's going to be some pretty cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds good. That sounds awesome. Hey, you got any shows coming up? Are you doing the A&E Car Collective next this weekend?
I haven't committed to anything just yet. We're taking a bit of a breather. One thing that I've learned through this is that I don't know anything about building a tech company. So it's all, I just thought you'd turn it on and you start, but we've got a fair bit to do. So, but since the first ACC event to now, it's just been hectic. So we're by the time we go to our next show, we want to be at a kind of a different point to we were at the first one.
Fair enough. Great.
So a bit more to
give an update and
exactly. Yeah. But we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, Craig, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on this episode.
Is there anyone you want to thank that's been involved? Any shout-outs? Or?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, the development team, we've got Bipu and Grant. They're absolute legends. We've got Mike, Isaac, Jeff, and Arash. They helped us. Arash started... I just found him through a mate of a mate, and he came and built me my very first platform just out of love, and that was 3 years ago, and we're at now. So he's been an absolute legend, and my wife Bridget for allowing me to do this. It's been quite amazing. So yeah.
Who was it? Bridget that came up and spoke with me at the show? Was it whoever she was? She's a very good salesperson. Right. Should employ her.
I don't think that was Bridget at that time, although Bridget would have been amazing.
Well played.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of people that were helping out on the day, which we're really thankful for.
Because she came up to the stand, and look, I was really glad that I went down that day, because it was. God, I don't know about you, but my experience at that event was we opened ourselves up to a demographic we had never been exposed to before, and this is all about what you're doing. Is maybe you get us into a demographic that we talk a lot about drag racing, we talk about supercars a lot, but our demographic,
Regrettably.
our demographic is
We used to talk about drifting.
over here somewhere,
Yep.
but our demographic needs to be over like that. I always use the analogy of the fisheye lens. That's what our demographic needs to be. And that day there, I met people that had never heard of us before. In actual fact, everyone that came to the stand had not heard of us before.
It looked like an incredible event.
It's huge. And
was.
Alden, he apologises. He will be coming on. But as soon as he can, he's very busy, but as soon as he can make time, we'll have Alden sitting there as well from A&E Car Collective. Looking forward to catching up with him. But yeah, you're right. And that's why it's important the work that you're doing, that we all work together as a team and collaborate as well. That's why I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, and I'm hoping you can stay because we've got more to talk about.
Awesome, love to.
World Series. Well, it's in another episode, but anyway, you'll work it out. Anyway, Craig, thanks for joining us on this episode. Go to agentanorak.com.
Amazing, thank you all.
Thanks, Craig.
All right.